Hey everyone. This morning I'm going to discuss something that I only heard about for the first time actually last night. And it's something called an Indigo Child, which I've been watching a lot of videos of and reading a lot about. It's one of the most interesting subjects I think I've ever come across. Uh, if you've never heard of it, I really go check it out. Go check out some of the videos I shared about it. I shared signs to recognize if you are one or if you're possibly your child might be one. And I just wanted to share one little story to try to put this. It's very difficult to put. There's no way to put it all in one simple little thing. So all I can do is make short little clips and hope that one of those clips connects with a different person that brings them to my channel and where they can start to put it all together and help me put it all together because it's very much a journey for me and I'm just trying to capture it. So because it is so both amazing and bizarre and there's just no word to describe what it feels, so I'm just trying to capture it. That's my compulsion, I guess. So my connection, the first time I was diagnosed with any type of problem at all was I was 12 years old in 7th grade and I was diagnosed with ADHD. Anyone that I was friends with during that time at Carver Middle School knows that I had to be hospitalized as a result. For that, a lot of you guys came to visit or tried to come visit me as much as well, or tried to come visit me, but couldn't because it was only, strictly for family that could visit me at the ward that the medical center was treating me at, and I was there for 2 weeks. I have recently recovered a lot of memories from that time. I had blocked it out for the longest time. Like I can remember my friend Kendra coming to see me, and my friend Jennifer was her name actually, and my friend Jada, all coming to see me at the hospital. They were very concerned. But the one person that I really connected with during that time was a friend of mine that's no longer with us that I was in school with at the time. And following that experience, I lost contact with that person, and we had nothing to do with each other for years. We were in two separate worlds, took two separate paths, and then in 2015 we reconnected over Facebook. I finally decided to get on Facebook, and she was one of the first people that reached out to me from my past, from childhood, was this friend, and we began to communicate and talk, and we had an amazing connection over birds. I've always connected to birds. I love birds. And ironically, at the time, we had the same kind of bird, or about the same type of parrot. I had a pineapple conure. She had a bird named Coco that she loved dearly. And we bonded over the fact she was moving overseas and wasn't going to be able to take Coco with her, so she was looking for someone to adopt him. And we bonded over that. I didn't really get a chance to talk to her, or we didn't talk much about anything going on in our lives other than just things we were into, and she was really open to a lot of stuff. But anyway, so we shared and then kind of lost track again, kind of drifted apart after reconnecting. And then on February 15th of 2018, I was in a car accident that led to me going into treatment for a whole, bunch of problems. There was from ADHD to PTSD to PDD, there's a whole bunch of them nowadays. So I went in on February 15th, and I had not talked to my friend in a very long time. So one of the first people that I looked up on my Facebook was her, and turns out her last post had just been a week prior, February 8th. I think February 7th, February 8th was her last post. And I never knew what happened. I knew she had been badly injured. Was badly injured in an accident the previous year or something. And the last time we spoke, she was desperately, trying to fight and recover from that. And the last we spoke, she was actually doing really well. It sounded like she was recovering pretty well. But when I saw her post, and then not long after, I saw that her page was turned into like a legacy page or something. So I knew that she must have lost her battle to her injuries and so on and so forth. But it was moving to me that her last post was so close to my accident, And then yesterday I posted a video talking about that, I never knew what happened or anything, even what day. A very close friend of hers reached out to me and said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know, she actually passed on February 13th. So 2 days before I had my accident." So that's when the term Indigo Child came into my vocabulary. I had never heard about it before. Something called Indigo Child, empath, so on and so forth. And the idea, I guess, is it's so many kids are diagnosed with things like ADHD and stuff at such a young age, and told that what they think they're up to, or the extra energy they have is from that, and you put on medications and to control it. And if you guys have a kid that's struggling with ADHD or any of those type of things, you know what they tell you have to do, and that's what was did to me, and so on and so forth. And the life that came after was connected to that. And an Indigo Child, apparently, from what I know so far, if they're lucky, at some point they'll have what's called an awakening, and you start to, you're able to put all these amazing connections together of people that's been in your life and how you were connected and how they came back into your life. And the weirdest part about my journey in the past 17 months is my friend from middle school is just one of, just off the top of my head, like 3 people that I've lost while I was in treatment that came back into my life during my darkest time for whatever reason, somehow they were brought back together. I live in California. My friend was in Taiwan, and we somehow connected over Facebook because of birds. I was struggling with my faith and the part that it played in my recovery. And I started to have amazing connections with my cousin Ray, who's passed away from cancer during this time. I started to struggle with being away from my friends and family on a job that I took that only allowed me to come home every 3 or 4 days a month to spend with my family. And the person that I reconnected with all those miles away was a guy I knew from Alabama I hadn't saw since 1991, and he tragically lost his life to a gunshot wound while I was in therapy. All these amazing people that I got to spend a lot of time with before they passed came back into my life at the exact moment I needed them, and not just into my life, but spent an amazing amount of time with me when we were all but perfect strangers. And I could go on and on and on. Like that's what the You're Not Alone awakening is about. It's about trying to. It's not a new thing. It's been around for a long time, or not a long time, but there's a lot of information out there about it. I'm just trying to be the first one, I guess, to capture it while it's happening. And I think that's what this is. That's the only way I can explain it. Maybe in a week it'll all be just for me, and it'll all go away. And I don't know. All I know is I am driven to capture my awakening. That is what everyone's telling me it is. That seems to be in the know. I'm just trying to capture that on video and share it, and see if it touches anyone else out there. So, thought for the day, I guess. Okay, Indigo Child, empath. Are you one? Are you raising one? Ever heard of it? I hadn't till literally last night. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.